let's talk about a big one: emotional eating and stress eating. You're probably here because you're doing one of two things, all right? Either when you are stressed out, you run to food and you eat, or when you're stressed out, you deprive yourself of food and you don't eat. Now, depending on wherever it is that you are on that spectrum, if when you are stressed out and as your stress levels go up, you find yourself going to food or you find yourself going away from food, I have a really big tip for you that I want you to try this out the next time that you find yourself in that space. Actually, it's two tips. The first thing is being aware that it's happening. Sometimes when we cycle through the exact same things over and over and over again, your body is just on autopilot. Well, there's a current client that I'm working with right now that has a situation with chips and potato chips. And when stress goes up in her life, what happens? She reaches for potato chips. I have another client of mine that used to be ice cream, which used to be my vice for quite some time as well. And just not even being aware that you're just always doing it. So trying your best to just pause and be aware, hey, for the 5th time today or the 3rd time this week or whatever it is, I'm going back for this ice cream. I'm going back for this potato chips. That's it. No judgment, no anything other than simply being aware of it. The second thing I actually would love for you to actually practice is doing a food diary. But I want you to do this food diary a little bit different. All you're going to do is, if you are aware of a particular food that's kind of like, oh, when I'm stressed out, I just gotta have insert whatever food, a bag of Jolly Ranchers. Again, that used to be me. Ice cream, potato chips, whatever it is. When you find yourself going for that thing, I want you to, again, pause, notice that you're doing it. But then the second thing is that on this food diary, note how you are feeling. Are you anxious? Are you depressed? Are you thinking about some grief or some loss or whatever it is? And what you're going to find by doing this is that you're going to find some patterns. Now from there, it's really up to you on what you do with that information, but I highly suggest that you meet with a professional, someone like myself, a food behavioralist, a nutritionist, to help you work through that. The great thing, sounds kind of weird to say that though, but the great thing about stress eating and emotional eating is one of the easier things to actually fix, because more than likely your stress comes up high pretty often, or you're cycling through these emotions pretty often. So it's not something that's just gonna happen once every 3 months. It's probably happening once a week or whatever it is. So when you can find the solution to that, then you can start working through some other things in your wellness journey, your weight loss journey, or whatever it is. So again, first thing is pausing and noticing. Taking the time to notice and identify what is that thing. And it may not always be a specific food in particular, although many times that it is. It might be certain types of food. It might just be salt. It might be crunch. It might be fried. It might be alcohol. Like whatever it is, you want to find that pattern for you, because we all have patterns when it comes to our food. So again, if you know you're an emotional eater, or you're not sure if you're a stress eater, this is almost like a little bit of a litmus test and taking in some data on yourself. Now, if you would like to have a call and talk about this more in detail, I do what I call a deep dive strategy session, which is literally me putting aside a full 60 minutes for you. And then we work through things like that. And then I give you a roadmap to show you how you can get from here to here. If that would interest you, go ahead and click that in the comments, booking a strategy session, call with me. I would love to chat with you, but I am looking forward to seeing what you get from this data. And if you find this information useful, probably it's not for you, but you know someone that is indeed an emotional eater or is indeed a stress eater, I invite you to simply just, send this information to them just so that it can be helpful, so that they can continue making changes and progress on their wellness journey.